My name's John, I'm 41 and I'm a member of the VMCC. And people say to me, why are you a member of the club? Well, for me, it's just the club that offers the most service and benefits for anyone that's into classic motorcycles. And you turn up to any event or any show stand and you just don't know what you're going to see. It could be any bike from any decade, from any manufacturer. And that's why I like the club. So whether you're into AJS's from the 1930s or Vincent's from the 50s or even a 1970s Marini, then there's something for you at the VMCC.
Festival in 3 words, what would they be?
Just the best atmosphere.
A classic day.
It's a fantastic event that is probably the most fun you can have on a motorbike.
All about bikes, passion of bikes, riding the bikes, enjoying the bikes. I think if I said it's about bikes.
Arriving this morning, I got here quite early, 7 o'clock, packed my bus up, and then it was just like going back in time. It was awesome.
It's the sheer excitement of it all. I love every minute of it.
It's just like a biker's dream, really. There's everything to see. So much fun, I love it.
Michelin, a better way forward.
My name is Christian and I've been a member of the Vintage Motorcycle Club for about 4 years or so. I've had an interest in anything mechanical, whether it's cars, bikes or engines, for as long as I can remember, but my focus really shifted towards classic bikes about 5 or 6 years ago. I'd owned a Kawasaki ZX-7R, which for me was really my childhood bedroom wall poster bike, along with the Honda SP1. When it came time to get rid of that, after owning a 100 brake horsepower, 150 mile an hour sports bike, I thought I should look in a slightly different direction. And that different direction ended up being a Norton Dominator. I ended up doing quite a lot of work to the bike, and by the time I sold it, it was sporting clip-ons, rear sets and a single seat, and it was around the time when the cafe racer trend was sort of coming back into fashion, so that worked quite well. It was during my period of Norton ownership that I really got hooked on the classic stuff, and also when I joined the Vintage Motorcycle Club. The initial draw for me really was access to information. For all the modern bikes, you can go on the internet, you can go onto the forums and there's loads of information there. But for a lot of the older stuff, the information was stored in people's heads. So the club really gave me access to a lot of people that had spent 40 or 50 years working on the same bikes as me, and that was really invaluable. Another thing that really appealed to me about the club, and still does, is that they promote the use of competition bikes, whether that's pre-65 trials, sprint bikes, short circuit bikes. They would much rather that they were being used for their intended purpose rather than being sat in a museum or in the back of someone's shed. So this means that there's always a lot of motorsport going on. If you've never been, I'd thoroughly recommend that you go along to the Festival of 1,000 Bikes at Mallory. The smell of Castrol, the sound of high compression race engines running on methanol, if that doesn't get you hooked, then nothing will. If you're interested in finding out more about the Vintage Motorcycle Club, there's a link in the description. And if you fancy watching any of my project videos, I'm sure the club will be kind enough to put a link in the description to those as well.
I'm Rob, I'm 30 and I'm a member of the VMCC, Vintage Motorcycle Club. People ask me why I'm a member, and I say that although I've known about the club all my life, my dad's into old bikes. By the time I was 18 I had a few years of riding old bikes, and then as my 20s progressed, life got in the way and I didn't have a bike at all. About 4 or 5 years ago I bought an old MZ, and having moved away from my parents I needed someone to help me get it on the road. I got in touch with a local MZ owner, a chap called Peter Fielding, and he helped me get it back on the road. Once we got the bike on the road, he invited me along to some local VMCC runs, and from there I joined the club. I've now taken part in the White Horse Trial and quite a lot of local section runs. For that, the VMC is great. There's lots of local events in your area, and there's national events that you can partake in. Last year, for example, I did the Northumbrian section C2C, which was a great way of getting out on my 50cc Simpson. Normally I don't ride that very far because it's a bit of a chore on my own, but with that, they call it sort of a tiddler run, and you're all on little bikes. It was great fun. Not only that, but I've just moved, hence why I've only got my modern bike today, and now I know that once this virus has passed, I'll be able to get in touch with the local section, find some fellow enthusiasts and get out and enjoy the old bikes. My fleet is nothing exotic. I've got a couple of MZs, a Simpson, and actually I've just bought a pre-war Panther. I was spurred on to buy that Panther because I did a training day about 2 years ago, which was an absolutely amazing opportunity to get to ride a load of old bikes that I would never have had the chance to, and I was hooked. It's taken me 2 years, but I've now got my own. So in addition to that, the club's just really great if you're into old bikes and you want to keep them going, and you want to keep the passion and the knowledge going. There's a huge amount of knowledge and enthusiasm. You get a great monthly magazine, discounts, and a whole host of events. So I hope you join, and I hope to see you on the road soon.